Perfect.
Go, Taylor, go.
To you, give it that.
Hi, I'm Tina.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining.
And I think that Lulu and Gemma might not have met her, but she came last meeting. They were here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm Lulu. I'm a senior at the high school.
I'm Gemma. I'm a junior at the high school.
And part is representing the disabilities, right?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. We should talk about that.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. Yes. Well, we should talk after. Okay, so
Oh, she doesn't know Belinda either.
Lieutenant Linda Carroll from the Navy Police. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And she's our liaison. From the police department, and being a lieutenant means that you have regular contact
I just.
meetings with the chiefs.
There's no Officer Kelly. Kelly.
Kelly Sculpinetti.
Yeah.
Yes, she's wonderful. Okay, we're ready to go. Thank you guys for being here. I'm a little unprepared because neither of our chairs are here tonight. So this is the October 23rd meeting of the Human Rights Committee meeting. We don't have any attendees online, do we?
We do not.
Okay, great. So let's just do a quick attendance. When I say your name,
We
for the
don't have to do that
record.
anymore.
We don't,
We don't have to do it, no, right, Taylor? Didn't you say we don't have to do that anymore?
the attendance?
Do we have to go around and say our names?
I think it's probably safe to do it for the record.
Oh, I thought we didn't have to do that.
So I'll just
The
say,
town branding
yeah.
and seal committee does.
Jen,
I'm Jen Howard Schroeder.
parties,
I'm Patty Springer.
Gemma,
I'm Gemma Naokis.
Cynthia,
Cynthia Ganong here.
Lulu,
Lulu Wang.
Marlene,
Renee Schultz here.
Marie,
Marie Moore Shapiro here.
Bud,
Shram.
and Tina Burgos is here. Okay, so do we have, this is a pretty full room tonight. Who is here for public comment, please?
Here.
No, we're here just to, we're interested in the committee and getting involved and just hearing.
Thank you
all.
for coming. So, when we do public comment, you have 2 minutes to speak publicly. This is, it's not a back and forth exchange. So we listen to your comment and then, kind of go down the line. So that's how public comment works. So if you could just state your, name.
Name and address, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Did you want to speak from there? It's up to you.
oh no, I can get up and speak, so
Yeah,
just go ahead and
that's
do the
great,
statement. Okay, yeah. I'm Nina Silber, I'm a Needham resident, I've lived in Needham for 33 years. I'm also a member of Needham for Palestine, and I'm a Jewish resident of Needham as well. So I'll just go ahead with my statement,
That's
right?
great.
So I want to start just by thanking you for giving me this opportunity to make this statement. I know you're discussing it as part of your meeting, but I wanted to speak especially about the current situation in Israel and Gaza, and my thoughts about how the Needham Human Rights Committee might respond. So I want to just mention first that I recently sent an email to your group in which I urged you to update your statement from November 2023 and to recognize the humanitarian crisis that's taking place in Gaza. I'm worried that many of the members in this group would prefer to stay silent because they think it's not their place to comment on something that emanates from a situation outside of Needham. But I think to stay silent right now, while this statement that you had from November 2023 stays in place, would actually put you in a very hypocritical position. Why, I would have to ask, was that first statement acceptable, but a new statement is not, especially now when a crisis of enormous proportions is unfolding for the Palestinian people. If ever a statement standing up for basic human rights was called for, it's now. The second point is that since I wrote that email, some type of ceasefire has come into effect in Gaza. And I do fear that your committee would retreat from making a statement because of this new situation. Many of us, of course, welcome any moves towards peace, including the release of Israeli hostages, and Palestinian prisoners. But it's also become increasingly clear that the Palestinian people will not be receiving any kind of justice or peace from the current arrangement. An article in today's New York Times lays out in a very specific detail how, quote, what happened in Gaza might be even worse than we think. The article also explains how very little attention from those overseeing this ceasefire, especially American officials, will be given any consideration in terms of the past or ongoing sufferings of Palestinians. A recent update from the American Friends Service Committee reminds readers that Israel continues to occupy over 80% of Gaza and continues to block much of the aid directed toward the region. And on top of this, there are continued Israeli military assaults on innocent Palestinians who, in the aftermath of the ceasefire declaration, have been trying to return home. I hope your committee will not turn away from this situation. I would just repeat my point from before that it would be hypocritical to let an earlier statement stand when, despite these pronouncements about a ceasefire, an enormous humanitarian crisis continues to unfold. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Um, My name is Steve McKnight. I've lived in Needham since 1980. And I'm a Quaker. I attend Wellesley Friends Meeting, Quaker meeting. And I always begin by saying, you know, I pick up the paper every morning and I read about what's happening in Gaza, and my heart breaks. I mean, it's simply appalling. And I'd like to pass out to you and read sections from the statement, like Wellesley Friends, that Wellesley, we, of course, transact business in the manner of friends, whereas we come to a state of meeting where everybody's in agreement. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the first two paragraphs, and then I'm going to read the appendix that Wellesley Friends have put together. Yeah. Wellesley Monthly Meeting Minute on Israel, Palestine, and Gaza. A meeting for business on April 10th, 2025. Wellesley Friends meeting united behind the following minute approved on January 10th, 2025 at Dover, New Hampshire Quaker meeting, Friends meeting. As Quakers, we support the practices that ensure the equality and well-being of all people. We recognize the futility of violence and the brutalizing effect it has on all sides. We advocate for diplomacy, tolerance, and restraint. We must speak out, lest we be accused of complicity. The U.S. must cut off all the flow of arms for Israel's genocide in Gaza and oppose the expansion of Israel's attacks to Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. We can no longer stand by and watch as war crimes are being committed with our tax dollars, our weapons, and our government's unwavering support. You can see what we urge Congress to do, and we call upon the people of the United States, but I'd like to particularly read the last paragraph. This was the statement from Dover meeting in New Hampshire. Wellesley Friends also minuted their strongest moral opposition to suggestions for ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in Gaza. As Quakers, we profess from a long tradition of opposition to violence based on our strong belief in that of God in everyone. We love and honor our Jewish friends and neighbors, and we reject the characterization of opposition to the violence perpetrated by the state of Israel as anti-Semitic. We are deeply troubled by the use of that characterization to attack the academic offerings and educational culture of our universities and to incarcerate and deport international students. And just to add, when Needham for Palestine first we began standing out on every other weekend on the town green, and you know, we had people coming by and giving supportive honks, but we also had people coming by calling us terrorists, you know, giving us obscene gestures, and this is, you know, what we have is a situation where people are identifying support for the citizens of Gaza as being somehow anti-Semitic. And I would I'm deeply disturbed by that. And I would hope that this committee could at least identify the fact that opposition to the acts of the state of Israel are not anti-Semitic.
Thank you, Steve.
Mhm.
Vicky?
Thank you, Sakib Khan, St. Mary Street, Needham. I spoke in public comment at the last meeting. And I'm a member of Needham Catholicism. And I must say that, we, as a group, didn't have your committee in, in our site or radar until, I saw on Facebook the post about the October 8th movie, and that's what ended up bringing us here. And, we had a discussion internally, if we're gonna go to the Human Rights Committee, what should we say? I don't really care to talk too much about an Islamophobic film, a hateful film, that this committee had up on its Facebook page. No, if we're gonna come, we're gonna talk, we're gonna ask for a statement standing up for human rights. And, we didn't have a lot of high hopes for what to expect from this committee. But I gotta say, when I watched the YouTube posting of the discussion afterwards, from this committee, my heart broke. Really, it did. And I don't think I'm alone in that. There was apparent comfort in the idea that this could be ignored. I could go around and talk about specific things that specific people said. I'm not going to do that. I've tamped down my emotions in one sense. But one person did say that when this group started issuing statements about human rights violations, that they weren't, as I think another person said, were muddled as apparently this one. There's nothing muddled about the situation in Gaza. There just isn't. And in the proposed statement that we provided last time, we included hyperlinks to specific statements and facts that have been found by international organizations. There's nothing unclear here. The entire world, with the exception of a few countries, sadly the United States being the leading one, but the rest of the world unanimously understands what's going on. Okay, many governmental organizations in the United States understand. The entire human rights community is virtually unified. I don't know why any committee that proclaims to stand for human rights would shy away from taking a stand on what is so obviously in around the world been called and identified as a genocide. And the fact that wish to be blind was found here in Needham, it really hurt. There has been the declared ceasefire for whatever that means, but that isn't a peace, and it isn't an end to starvation in Gaza. Since that ceasefire has been declared, the Israeli government has stopped aid from coming in. There was a promise 500 or 600 trucks, whichever the whole world knows is what's needed to feed people there. And even under the ceasefire agreement, the trucks have been limited to 150. Okay, I have friends that go to Gaza as doctors to serve in their hospitals, American doctors that go there. They've told me firsthand about finding sniper bullets, American bullets, ammunition that comes from our country, paid for our tax dollars, in the skulls of children. We all should be standing up against this. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other?
One more.
We have one more.
No, I'm.
All right, I think you had your hand.
Sorry, please go.
Anna Geraldo Kerr, Mosley Avenue. I wasn't planning on speaking, so I've spoken to some of you individually. And I know some of you also, over the years from many different, projects we've worked together in Needham. Lived in Needham about 25 years and been involved in different roles, in service of the community. I just was inspired to share with you, something that was discussed in September's meeting. That talks about dignity, which is the recognition of the desire to be seen, heard, and listened to, and treated fairly, to be recognized, understood, and to feel safe in the world. Imagine that, just dignity. That's what everyone wants. And that's what we're asking for the statement to reflect, that you recognize and acknowledge what's happening in the world, that is affecting our community.
Thank you.
Not today.
Okay.
My wife was gonna volunteer me, but
He's not prepared.
I was not.
Anybody else? Okay, we appreciate the public comments tonight.
Yeah, my apologies. We do have two folks who have joined online. If I may ask if anyone online wishes to speak as part of public comment, please use the raise hand feature located at the bottom of your screen, and we will allow you to speak.
May I ask a question? Should someone who is a guest be videoing what's going on here?
It is a public.
Yes,
So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify.
Absolutely, you're allowed. to do
Because
that.
there will be the video on YouTube.
Oh, yes, the video is typically posted within a week of the public meeting on YouTube as well. Neither utilize the raise hand feature.
Okay, if we could approve the minutes from June and September?
Haven't seen.
We don't have the September,
Okay,
so only doing June.
June. Any changes? Estimates? I have a motion.
So moved.
Second. Okay, if you're in favor of approval of minutes from June 2nd, 2025, please say aye. Aye. Any nays? Abstentions? No, okay, so June 12th, 2025 minutes have been approved. The next item on the agenda, we will table the September 18th minutes for. November. Yeah, yes. The next item on the agenda is statement presented for consideration during the September 18th public comment period. I have not. I need to go back and rewatch. I was not here that night. So we would like to kick off the discussion on this. And if you guys was here, where did everybody land? How's everybody feeling?
I will start by saying, since the meeting that I've been thinking about it a lot. I think at the end of last meeting, it took me a bit, honestly, to process.
Yep.
And processing that in addition to figuring out what the right role for us was, I guess was a work in progress for me. I think that conversation that we had last time kind of talked about whether we were doing anything good for the community in making the statements.
And statements in general.
Yeah.
Yep.
In general.
Yeah.
And whether it made sense if we didn't feel like we were adding to the community in a positive way. It has been on my mind since, and I guess I'd love to hear what you all think. I agree what y'all are saying, that it calls for something to say, and I don't know how to reconcile that with what we were trying to talk about last time in terms of where we have the most impact, like what's useful for us to do for the community. But I would like to open this discussion back up. And if it's something that we can say. Okay.
So you think we should make this some kind of a statement?
That's what
Yeah.
I was present online and the statement was not available at that time. So often what we do is say that we will that we'll have a conversation and response to it at the next meeting. But I wasn't here in person, but if I had been, and this may already have happened, I would have tried to look at each person and thank them for caring enough about something that is so vital, that's such a devastating human rights issue that I think any person who's alive right now and thinking about human rights is going to need to do something, or they're not morally with it. And that they're right to bring this to us. And that's the first thing that I think we need to say. And not jump into, oh, well, it doesn't have, what kind of impact, but let's first acknowledge and that this is really important. But I wasn't here to know whether that was what's communicated. And that's the first thing. And I was looking back at the statement in 2023, and we did make declarations about human rights violations and refer to the UN. And we have done that from time to time. And why would we just Collins, why would we stop at this point? And maybe statements don't make any good, but not to say something is to say something. So I'm just bringing up that aspect of it.
So you think that we should revisit the November 23?
I'm not sure how we do it. The first thing I'm saying is that as a Human Rights Committee, although we are charged, and I read what we're charged to do, education advocacy, taking action for things that affect people within our community. But just in that October statement, we certainly said that we were aware that people were affected by what was happening in Israel and Gaza. We said that. And we have made statements before about anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. These events are affecting anybody who's a humanitarian throughout the world. And they certainly are affecting people in our community. And I think just looking at where you start, I feel like that's a place to start. I'm not sure how that translates into a statement or action, but just to whether people would agree about that part. And maybe we only make make it a 1 paragraph statement. I don't know.
I had not read that November statement, but was that condemning just one side?
No.
So if it was condemning both sides, I don't understand what's the problem with that one.
Okay, November 16th, 2023. To the Needham community regarding the Israel-Gaza conflict. We are horrified by the unfolding war and devastating loss of life in Israel and Palestine, and strongly support de-escalation of the recent violence in this region. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, declared, "It has been 1 full month of carnage, of incessant suffering, bloodshed, destruction, outrage, and despair. Human rights violations are at the root of this escalation, and human rights play a central role in finding a way out of this vortex of pain." I don't know whether you want the rest of it, right?
Oh, that's thank you. Just I wanted to know. I think that's a good one for that time.
Yeah. Members of the Needham community who have ties to loved ones in Israel and Gaza are experiencing pain, sorrow, and grief. Many in our community are angry, frightened, and hurting as they mourn the thousands of lives lost. They feel unsafe, silenced, and not valued as members of the community. We urge civility during this period of conflict and ask members to reflect on how their actions affect those around them, such as the use of words that could be construed as anti-Semitic, Islamophobic, or racist. These responses are inconsistent with our community values. We condemn hate crimes and discrimination in our town, state, country, and world, and we fully support law enforcement's efforts to prevent and prosecute such crimes. We expect that our town will remain a safe place for people to live together and engage in peaceful conversations to learn about each other's experiences. The charge of the Human Rights Committee is to advocate appreciation and respect for human and civil rights in our town. Needham is a diverse community, one that embraces people of many races and religions. This is a moment for us to reach out to our neighbors, pull together, and to support one another in unity and compassion. We ask community members who need support or who have suggestions for ways of supporting their neighbors during this difficult time to contact the Needham Human Rights Committee and fix the address in peace and solidarity. So that's what we wrote
Mhm,
in almost 2 years ago.
mhm. So can I say something just from my own perspective? I'm from Iran, and we also had the war with Israel a few months ago. But the biggest problem for us is our own regime, because our own regime suppress us, and they caused, a big problem for us. And, even the war was the result of our regime. So, I'm thinking the big enemy for, I know the situation in Gaza is very bad, but they are suffering from their own regime like us, Hamas is torturing them too, So just I want to say that making this statement is difficult because it has different aspects. And I'm thinking if we write something, then maybe next month another group think that we have not been fair because we, for example, didn't condemn Hamas. Just I'm saying that we should think about these different aspects and different expectations.
Which is a,
Beautifully stated.
Yeah.
that's a good point, because you actually did receive some negative comments from the Jewish community shortly after we released that.
And I still think that was a good statement. And I still think that it's speaks to today.
And having been to, I don't know if any of you went to the Nova exhibit.
We're not supposed to answer that.
What?
We're not supposed to.
Yeah, they're not-
engage in
they're not
that.
supposed to
You're not
talk to them.
supposed to talk to them.
I don't know, if anyone around this table went to the Nova exhibit, but if you went to the Nova exhibit, I think that certainly would have an impact as to how you feel about any kind of statement we would make.
So, I mean, I definitely wouldn't like go back to this statement. I think that statement was fine. And I mean, I understand that the suffering, has continued. And, it's a bad situation, but I'm not sure that we need to make another statement at this time. So I'd like to hear from other people, and I'm glad, Cynthia, that you reread that, because felt that, I know that we labored over that. And, wordsmithed it quite a bit, and I know there were some people who were unhappy and came to us for public comment, and they proposed other statements and they weren't happy with it.
That's going to be true.
Well, no matter
Any
what we do,
statement we
no
make.
matter what,
And
we
that's
do.
not a reason.
No,
for not
that's
making a statement.
absolutely. So I thought that was a good. I don't know how other people feel. I mean, Jen, you think we should make another statement, it sounds like. So I don't know about other people.
I agree with you.
What?
I agree with you.
Maybe this isn't on topic, but I watched the movie and I didn't want to watch the movie, but I watched the movie. And I don't think you can call that movie Islamophobic. I don't think you can call it that. I disagree with that statement. That's just my opinion. So just want to put that on the record.
I happen to agree with your statement, and also understanding that movie was a snapshot of one day. Not anything that happened after it. It was a snapshot of one day after the massacre.
I don't think
And
that's
there
what
was a
that's.
discussion, the ability for people on all sides of all issues to participate. And the movie was basically something, formulate a discussion after the movie.
But
So
I
for
don't
this
think that's
committee-
what we're here to talk about now. I think now we're here to make a decision, if we want to make another statement, and if we do, what that statement would be, or if we would ask people to go back, you know, a small subcommittee to write a new statement. So I think that's the conversation.
I like one person spoke, this woman that spoke about the statement about dignity. I agree with that statement 100%.
And
All
that's-
humans
I think that's
deserve dignity.
As Anna.
Yeah.
I,
So are you saying that you think we should make another statement?
maybe we don't, I mean, that's a long statement from 23. I don't know.
Do you think we should? do-
I just don't know
You're not sure.
what to do because
And you brought up,
I'm too new to this committee to know exactly which direction to go, and I'm not gonna.
We've all been here for years, none of us.
and she brought it up.
We never know what we're doing here.
She said it might be a little off topic, but about the film, and I was hearing from being on Zoom, people's reaction to that. I did not see it, but I want to be sure that since a mistake was made by the committee that was put on the website without making it look like we were sponsoring it, that was a mistake, and it was brought to our attention. And this is apart from the merits of it or the people who saw
Temple
it. or didn't.
sponsored it, I thought.
Yeah, but we were not a sponsor, but it got sent to,
Oh.
we often
For
publicize.
We
community-
publicize other things. I don't
Yeah,
know that
but
that was a
that was-
mistake.
Well, we had some discussion, any rate, people who were seeing that, meeting might, or various things might have thought. It had not been seasoned or talked about by this committee as to whether that's something we wanted to publicize. And I know it's controversial to the people who saw it and were moved by it. They felt that's something everybody should see. But that a lot of people do not have that point of view, but just that it's important that this committee gets a chance to talk about things that we actually are sponsoring. We weren't a sponsor, but it unfortunately got viewed that way, and I can understand why it was. But that's coming back to, if we want to make a statement, what kind of statement we make and how we come to agreement.
I think it's really hard when we, in this day and age, to. So first of all, I don't think that we should go back to the November 23. That's it.
Yeah, that was for them.
That's it. It was done. To release statements, to post things on Facebook, because it's very difficult to understand intent and the emotion behind it and what was, what some people viewed as just an FYI, other people viewed as almost an attack. So I think that if we do release something, at this point, like releasing things, what are we doing? And I know this is gonna take a lot of work, but if we do something like that, then we should follow it up with, we're also going to be having a discussion with friends from our Jewish community and friends from our Muslim community and friends from, because this is getting us nowhere, right? We do this, we get people coming in upset, rightfully so, talking at us, and we can't even have a conversation from all different sides. As Party said, it's complicated and it's multifaceted, and there are so many different angles at this particular issue. And I do think that our group has been a little bit nervous to kind of take a stand, because we have been sort of under attack by several different folks, right? Because we don't really want to appear like we're taking sides. What we do is take the side of human rights. And so my feeling is, if we do release something, then we should organize some sort of conversation, a difficult conversation. And we should have some sort of community. Let's talk about it. Why was this movie upsetting for some? and not for others? You know, why is this statement upsetting for some and not for others? Why should we be releasing this statement versus another statement? We're not talking to each other, and now we're stuck. We're stuck in this sort of like place of walking on eggshells. We need to move past this. So that's my feeling. I think we leave the 23 thing alone. Let's kind of think about something in the future, but then we need to follow it up with some sort of community engagement. I think that's the only way to move forward. It doesn't feel like we would be doing anything if we just
issued
It's
another.
like, yeah, it just doesn't feel. What is it doing?
So are you also saying maybe don't issue a statement and have an educational program?
I think
Instead
we should
of,
have an educational.
or you
program.
think we should do both?
If we do, I need more time to think about the second statement, but I do think that this requires some sort of educational programming. We can do it. We've done it in the past. You know, again, it's gonna take some work, but this is something that it merits. And I think the other thing that a lot of people don't understand is that this committee is sort of very tied to the select board and the town. So there are a lot of things that we want to do as a group, as individuals, you know, as subgroups, but our hands are tied a lot of the times because we are beholden to the select board and to the town of Needham. So I just want to put that out there. I think a lot of people don't understand that we are not a completely independent body. We can't just do whatever we want to do. You know, we're part of a government entity, and we also have to be sensitive to that. But I think that the next step should be a very involved, engaged community outreach effort, conversation, something like that. I just think kind of we're at that point now where we keep releasing statements, people keep getting upset with us, and it's like our hands are tied.
I have an idea about how to do the engagement.
Yeah.
Now, one of the people who spoke last month was Huma Farid, and she's the Muslim representative who was part of the Needham Interfaith Clergy Association. And one of the things she spoke about is having regular meetings with Rabbi Jay Perlman of Temple Beth Shalom. And I wish I could have gotten the whole quote, but from Jay, she says, we don't want the brokenness to destroy us. And I know I've been, since I'm the Quaker, the human on the Needham Interfaith group, that they've been talking about what is some way that we can bring the community together to engage. And it may be that, I don't know if there are any other groups in town, but to have that group to work with would be where their representatives from, there are three or four, there's 3 rabbis in Cantor from Temple Beth Shalom, there's rabbi in Cantor from Temple Aliyah, and we don't have a mosque in town, and Huma Farid has graciously been representing the group, and they have monthly conversations between the two of them. And I did hear representatives from one of the temples talk about the humanitarian crisis, the human rights thing we're talking about. And there is broad agreement among a lot of people of a Jewish background. So it isn't just along the Jewish against Muslim. I mean, there's many different points, but I think that that's one possible way to go. And maybe the statement is a shorter one that doesn't cover everything.
It never
But
it never does.
And the other thing about the select board, yeah, that makes it harder, but I've heard them say, we want you, the Human Rights Committee, to bring up things that you think are important. Of course, they may shoot them down and not be, but it's still our job to do it.
Yes.
Right.
That's as in people of integrity, that if we see something, we need to bring that up. And if they say, well, not in our vision, whoops, wrong word. Then we've at least done what we feel is important.
I like the idea of us partnering with the Clergy Association and coming up with something that would be meaningful for the community. I think that would be I think that would be great. I mean, when we had that program, I don't know how many years ago, getting to know your Muslim neighbors.
Yes, oh,
We,
that was
we,
true.
we had a really good, turnout, and I thought it was a really, really good program. So,
That was when well, right now, I don't know whether anybody here is a Muslim, but that was when we had Abdul.
yeah, Abdul was in the city then.
Yeah, and it was a program that they actually had, the mosque in Wayland. That
No, we had the program.
no, but it was modeled after that we brought here. And then we had our own fee.
So,
I move that in lieu of a statement at this time, that we approach the clergy association and explore an opportunity to have a discussion on these issues.
Could I say one more thing?
Sure, of course. Sure.
An idea, and I realize I might be in the minority, and I'm asking this question from a very humble place, because I don't know if it's gonna come out right, or if it's gonna be like, what, or anything like that. But I'm thinking about, can we pull apart the kind of political piece of this and consider making a statement about what I bet everybody at the table could agree are like horrendous humanitarian things happening, and so like, I'm thinking, as I've been thinking about it over the month, thinking about other times where we have been moved to say something about what's going on. And this doesn't feel different than those times, like thinking about the aid trucks not getting in, or people not being able to access food or medical care, like those things to me, like if we were just dropped down here today and hadn't lived the last 2 years in the news with the different reports, if we would be thinking about what we're witnessing and feel like we need to say something. And while I don't know, a statement doesn't fix anything, but in a lot of ways, I think not saying something about what we're seeing doesn't feel good either. And I think that a program idea would be amazing. Another completely ignorant question, I'm not sure, I think that I wrote down this quote at time too, is brokenness to inspire us, not divide us. Like, I think that that's an amazing lens, but I also I think it would be worth having a discussion if having it be connected to religious organizations changes the dynamic of the conversation, and that would be a conversation to have when we're talking about planning the program.
I hear what you're saying, yeah. Don't want to limit it just to the religious aspects.
Yeah.
Because it's a humanitarian set.
Well, I think there's a way to do that without, I mean, we could do that,
And it's a
I think-
country, not a religion. That's the other thing, is Israel is a country, and tying in Israel versus being Jewish, I mean, it's a very, very complicated issue. Extremely complicated.
Absolutely, and I guess what I'm suggesting is, I don't know. If I wasn't involved in this and I saw something was being put on by the interfaith clergy, it may or may not feel to me as like a outside community member, I guess, saying.
Well, I think it could be one aspect, right?
Yeah.
Then we could have, like an academic historian talk about exactly that, right?
Yeah, no,
Israel is
I don't
one-
mean.
Yeah.
I just meant that.
You don't want to have it
Exclusively that.
But we have to start somewhere, and that's a group that's been talking about the same thing. And about how to reach the community and not just, have something at a temple or a church and a few people come, but what can we do to reach the community? And here's where we might be able to help and terms of connection with town resources. It's a big lift, but this is where we're at.
So I think we're at a point where we have to make some kind of a decision. And to take a vote. Do we want to make some kind of a statement? And do we want to have some kind of an educational program? I don't know if we want to put those, or a dialogue, maybe I should say rather. I don't know, if we put those together or separate.
Can we separate them? Cause I don't know. I know, I mean, yes to one, I'm like.
Yeah,
I'm not
so
sure
I
on the
guess
other.
that because we were asked to make a statement, I think that would behoove us to take a vote to see if people want to make a statement at this point. People are ready. I don't know if you all.
Yeah, I have one more thought that there are a few people who, some of us have spoken a lot and a few people who haven't spoken as much, just to make sure
That everyone gets.
that
a
everybody
chance.
had a chance. I'm not trying not to look at people. A teacher saying, oh, it's your turn.
Would it be all right to take a vote about the statement later? Cause I feel like I might still need some time to think about it, just like later today. But I don't know if we were gonna take a vote like right now, but
Yeah,
I'm still like thinking.
because we've got a lot of other stuff. on the
Yeah, we
agenda.
can like cover some other stuff first. If
And
that's
that's
okay
the
with
reason that we
everyone
didn't
else.
go further, and why when it was presented last time, because usually when people come with the public speak, we discuss it at the following meeting.
Mhm.
So that's why it was on the agenda.
Yeah.
But if you're not comfortable making a decision,
Um,
that's absolutely.
Well, the other thing is keep neither co-chairs here. Do we want to wait for those guys?
But we do have a quorum.
No, I think that we need to take it. We need to decide.
So are we waiting to vote until the end of the meeting for people to mull a little bit?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
that's
if you
fine.
want to do that.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay, just somebody remind me to
Okay.
take a vote.
8:15.
I get. Before we move on, is there anything else that anybody have comments, questions, concerns, you feel like we did not cover in this topic?
I'm probably sure other things will come up,
Yeah.
she said about it.
Okay. Update on planned joint program with neighboring HRCs.
Yeah, we had another meeting.
Is this just Newton?
This is Newton, Lexington, and Watertown. This is all these different groups. We had a meeting with Essential Partners that I presented to everybody last time. And so two people from Essential Partners came to the meeting and, I think people were pretty excited about them, and I had this feeling, no one was clear that maybe Newton was gonna, I wasn't sure. But, so what we asked, the goals for a cross-community program was, for people to listen to each other. Exactly what we're talking about for a program, to understand someone else's perspective, to know how to use communication agreements and conversation, and how to listen beyond the complaint to understand someone's preferred outcome. And so the Essential Partners said, this should really be like at least 2 sessions.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot in 90 minutes, or we should have one longer session. I said, no way. I don't think we could ever do anything more than 90 minutes. You just lose people. So we're gonna continue and have more conversations. Because originally they were talking about having something in January, but I don't think there's gonna be anything in January. But the group, every other group that's there is struggling with the same things that we struggle with. And that's why they want to do this. So, it's nice to,
Excuse me, can't hear.
it makes me feel, it's validating
Yeah.
that we're not alone, that we're going through the same thing. So, and they're really lovely. So, and the idea is it's gonna be open to the community.
Oh, wow.
So it's gonna be online, most likely, and then there'll be breakout groups, and it's possible. One of the things they talked about is that you might meet with your own community. In person, possibly, while it's going on,
Okay.
so that would be your breakout group or multiple breakouts, so I'm not sure, none of that has been worked out because nothing has been. Different, but I don't really, Newton uses them, has used them for, consultation, this Essential Partners, and, these two women, Molly Zucker and Kathy Eccles, they seemed great, and they seemed very experienced, so to be continued.
Okay, great, that's awesome. Web page updates, support for community members / know your rights. Do you guys know what that's all about?
Well, I think what that was, and I think I probably sent that around from all the other communities that are putting things on their website about for people to know their rights. And was that something that we wanted to do as well? And they had samples. Do you guys read? Most of you are on the Mass
Yeah.
Human Rights
Yeah.
Committee. I don't know if you read any of the emails that come around, but people have posted what they've done, and so we wanted to talk about if we wanted to do that as well, put on our website.
Rights in regard to what?
Rights in regard to immigration, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought the
Citizenship.
town did quite a bit.
Pardon?
The town has printed the known colloquially, the red cards.
Yeah.
That have the known your rights information in multiple languages, and they're stationed in a variety of town buildings. So
Well, yeah, we should
They're-
put that on,
they're-
we should put that on our website,
Yeah, but I think it's something that we should probably put on our website.
Yeah.
right, as another resource?
Yeah, it's a resource,
Yeah.
it'd be under
There you go.
resources, yeah,
Have you guys seen those? Do you,
I haven't seen.
not just the card.
yeah,
I actually, have one of-
So we'd be
I
asking,
just happen to carry it all times in case
Yeah.
anybody needs it.
in case anybody.
Well, this was
follows
given
it.
out at King's Day, but this just is the Constitution grants all people rights. Anyway, but these were better than what's just on the card. I think that what the other groups are doing is something better. And I don't know if the Immigration Justice Task Force, do they have a website? Do they?
Oh, yeah.
They have a Know Your Rights on there?
I have to, they're doing a tremendous amount right now.
I know they are, so.
Yeah, but I think if we think it's good, we ask the town about doing it, because just people aren't gonna go to, but moseying over to the Human Rights Committee website.
Well, where would we have the town put it?
Well, they have communications people.
I'd have to discuss it with the
I think it fits with us.
Yeah.
I think it fits under human rights. So that's where I
But
would,
if you wanna get it out to people, I'm just saying.
I think Mira,
Mira has stuff,
they've got excellent material.
yeah.
In lots of different languages.
Yeah.
I don't think we would need to like recreate the wheel on that. They
Cause we
also-
don't have that I don't know what's under our resources. I haven't looked at our webpage for a long time. It's nothing.
Minimal.
Yeah, I think it would be great if we could do that.
And maybe referring people.
okay.
So do we need to take a vote on that? I think so.
Yes, and if someone wants to spearhead that, I can make the actual updates, but I would need guidance on what you would like to include on the website.
Well, I think we need to,
Yeah, and here it is,
Bring-
Needham Area Immigration Justice Task Force.
okay.
It's one of the main things.
So would we need to bring what we want to post to the next
I think
meeting?
we should,
Yeah.
then we can all discuss
And
it.
then we could vote on it?
Yeah.
Okay,
And so could you bring a copy of that to the next meeting so we
Yeah, I can send
send it to us? That would be great. 'cause
yeah,
we may
and
just
and I know there's some other
replicate what
ones,
they have.
some other ones, so I guess I could look under that too. Okay,
Any other website updates you guys want?
did we ever get the QR code?
I will check with Karen.
'Cause she told me she never had it correct.
I'll resend it to her.
Okay.
Would you like to hear something that's good news?
Oh my gosh, always.
Just a quick update. A long time ago, I got, acknowledged or appointed to be a representative from the Human Rights Committee to the Needham group that's called the Memorial for Enslaved and Indigenous People group. And there's all kinds of things they have in mind about doing this, reckoning with history from the past, going forward. But one step has actually been taken, and that's our first grant application for funding for a sculpture that will be housed at the First Parish Church. We're not trying to get the town to have a memorial at this point, but just to start off. And we have an Indigenous woman as the sculptress for the proposed sculpture, and it will be called Tears of the Ocean, a teardrop that has different stained glass colors that the light can come through, representing the sorrow and tears of the people who were brought here from African countries enslaved, and the people from indigenous people of our land, how the treatment that they had, including the putting on the Charles River water to be brought to the harbor, to be brought to Deer Island, from which many people call that a time of genocide, that they did not return. The idea of Tears of the Ocean is also to represent a potential for healing. There's a beautiful statement made by the artist. And our first grant application to the Needham Council for Arts and Culture went in at like 11 p.m. before the deadline. We will be working on many other grant applications, and their next meeting is on November 13th, and I said I would let Lulu know about that, so I'll send you that, because she was interested in getting involved. So that's a good news thing, and we were encouraged by the chair of NCAC and by Charlie Manda, who's the former chair, to make this application. They're very interested in hearing voices of indigenous people as part of the art and culture of this community.
Great.
Good news.
Congratulations. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Needs assessment discussion.
So that's also. Sorry, guys.
You're here.
Get back from your trip.
A lot of these other groups in different towns have been doing needs assessment, either the whole town or the Human Rights Commission. So like Watertown engaged a consultant to help them conduct a needs assessment to understand the human rights landscape in the community. And Wayland completed an equity assessment,
Which we did.
and they had a consultant from the Center for Strategic Diversity, Leadership and Social Innovation. And Lexington hasn't done one yet, but the town did an audit looking at DI competence with tangible development. So Jen, you also commented on.
Would you like?
Does the town do equity, those types of, they'll do townwide.
Yes, we are in the midst of wrapping up an equity audit town.
How
I'm not putting in. That will help. But you want search.
They don't have them around the necks of rockets, so.
Yes, I will take that, I think.
We don't have them for sort of regular occurrences, but I'm not sure. But we are.
And start, what do the townwide equity audits involve? What do they look at?
We look at the town departments through a DEIB lens, all townwide departments. And committee involvement, committee board engagement and makeup, as well as procurement.
Okay. So is it primarily staffing? Personnel staffing?
Yeah, that's one aspect of it, yeah.
So different question than that.
Right.
Right.
But we,
I think these are really meant to be more communal, not just departments within the town.
we had the one for the school system and then the follow-up with the real coalition.
Right.
I think they're due, schools are actually due for another equity audit soon. So what would? Are we talking about doing something from a more of a community?
Yeah, I think
Standpoint.
more of a communal thing and to seek sort of, I think to give us advice about where we should be putting our efforts or. I don't know exactly how we would do it. I think we'd have to ask these other towns. They have consultants who do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And there are reports that you can get that they, again, this is through the Mass Human Rights, which made me think we should be doing too. And I don't go to the meetings, but I do read the emails fairly regularly. So I don't know. And you,
Dense.
what? They're dense.
very
But
dense.
you sent something after the last one, after one of these, yeah, and you sent a link, which I don't even think I ever opened. Because you thought it was interesting. These were from. Well, I sent it to everybody and you responded. I sent this out on September 3rd. Needs and equity assessment. Then you responded. Thank you for responding. But of course I didn't open your link, but
Must be really good.
I know, probably it's something from your work. I don't know. So I don't know if that's something we even want to undertake now, but
I think we should explore it. I mean, we could at least get some information from what other communities are doing, what that looks like, what it involves. Right, there's gonna be an expense there. They're
Yeah.
all using external consultants.
yeah, they're using consultants.
I mean,
Yeah, it's not something that we can do on our
I
own.
know, I think that would be a great resource to have.
And maybe, maybe the town wants to do it. Maybe it's something that we decide is important and we go to the select board, when we say. Although they have a few things on their plate right now.
How many things we can do.
Maybe something, better than talking about. Pollard.
It has to be decided.
Anyway, so I don't know if other people are interested or if it's just my interest. You think it's a good idea?
Yeah.
So someone else interested in doing a little more exploration of this?
I wonder, I'm not seeing it on the agenda right now, but. I think what we planning on spending some time at this meeting talking about kind of what we wanted to prioritize.
Well, I think that's the subcommittee selection
Subcommittee,
interest.
Selection and
I
interest.
think that's it.
Yeah,
But
well,
then-
but
but then we also need to come up with what.
Subcommittee.
I feel like there's a.
The horse, cart before the horse.
yeah, I wrote down, Jen suggested that we identify 5 things to do and who would work on which. How's that?
I'm like, I feel like this could be like something that if we said it. Focus on this, and like
Right,
a couple
and then-
people could go,
yeah,
"Alright, we're
right.
gonna-
Because we
we're gonna
can't-
own it.
We can't do everything, so.
No, and
We
we can't
can't,
do everything in an hour and a half here once a month.
Right.
So is it about what I think it was Keith's idea last month that if one of us should think about what we can do this year? Something like that?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that, and what came to my mind, something that, I'm doing, is about accessibility. And because, it's part of human rights to be, the city should be accessible for everyone. And I don't talk necessarily about physical accessibility because that can be more part of medium commissional disabilities, which, you know, some of the issues can be solved by partnership of two committees. There's no problem about that. But what I'm recently thinking about more is about digital accessibilities, which these days people really less think about it. You know, for example, if something is not wheelchair accessible, or for example, somewhere it doesn't have audio, for example, stoplights, so we cannot use it. But the same time, if one website is not accessible, I cannot register, for example, in a website, it's the same rights that I'm losing that. So I thought myself, you know, I can, some other people can help me also. Of course, you know, I want to focus more on websites like, or things that are related to Town of Needham, not just websites, the documents, you know, for example, any document, you know, should be accessible in terms of color contrast, or things like, for example, having headings or or links that are accessible. So, you know, they are easy things to do. Really, we don't need money for doing many of these things, just needs education. So I thought that for myself, I thought this is what I can do. And yeah, I can focus on that.
It's
How do you
wonderful
find-
to have your
yeah.
perspective. I love it.
Yeah.
How do you find, have you had any major challenges with any of the town websites?
Honestly, I have not tested any of them.
Yeah.
It is, you know, this is a challenge for myself first to, focus on these things. But because I'm working in Perkins School for the Blind, and we are, you know, in touch with this removing these like barriers, digital barriers. And these days, you know, it's more problems in apps and documents and things like this, because this day by day technology grows so fast, and we cannot catch up, because, you know, when we want to make something accessible, another 100 of new apps are making new apps, you know, and new portals, new websites, you know, and they need to be accessible. And, you know, I think really we need to educate people that, you know, to begin with, make the website accessible, make the application accessible. So it is, I think, really an important area to focus on these days.
That's great. Yeah, that is great. Actually, Keith would be a good part of that, because he's.
So are you gonna be able to access the YouTube to do the minutes? Do you know?
Mhm. To add to the minutes for.
Well, you said that you would write up the minutes from this meeting.
I want to try it with AI. I will send to one of you, so you check it, you know, I don't want to, you know.
But you're able to access YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, that was my question.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's
Okay.
Okay, great. So that could be one of our,
Yeah, one of the goals. I think that's very interesting.
can we do the updates and then we can circle back to the subcommittee? I think Keith wanted to table
Yeah, I think,
right?
yeah, I wasn't sure what that was.
I'm not sure what
The
that is
clarity
either.
of complaints of bias in schools. Did
Oh,
someone
I
come
know
to
what that
you?
was. No,
Oh.
no. Couple. Last year. When we were meeting with Dr. Gukins about trying to make the bias complaint process more accessible
On the
website.
website for school, for NPS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as a result, as a follow-up from the experience of the parents about
Oh,
bullying of
that's
Asian.
right. That was last year? That
No,
was
or
like
the
2
year
years
before.
ago.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, what Tina had a lot of involvement. That subgroup that was working with Dr. Singh.
So I think Mary Lammy's back. She was at the school committee meeting on Wednesday, so maybe I can reach out to her about that, just see where we go. how
It
we
looks
do
the
that.
same to me.
Yeah,
On the website.
I'm sure it hasn't been updated.
A lot of
And I
coffee.
know that got a lot, but I think that I don't remember what happened in the middle of it that interrupted our progress, because we were
Moving along on that,
Because
yeah.
I don't know what happened. Of course, I can't even remember. I think it would be good to circle back, especially if it actually has been 2 years. I think
Okay,
we might have a, there might be something where it's.
okay. Belinda, is there a police update?
I don't have anything, so not to throw you under the bus. But an hour ago, she's like, oh, by the way, you weren't on the email distribution. So, but in my mind, I was like, do we or don't we? So usually I like to go back and look at everything and I didn't.
Okay.
So nothing comes to mind.
Except the police chief's son
Yeah.
destroyed the Red Sox. That's an update.
Exactly, that was a human right that was violated.
So if there is something, I absolutely will bring.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And if there is ever a change in the meeting again, it should be released like right away and not close to the
I would have
time.
been here last week if you hadn't emailed me.
Yeah, but so whose responsibility is that? I would
The
say
chairs,
it's the chair's responsibility.
yeah, but who wants to be chair?
School update. So the only school, Real Coalition is sort of, they're going to decrease the number of meetings, and I think it's sort of just resetting what that coalition is gonna be doing and what that looks like. So that has not yet met yet this year. Usually it's 3 or 4 times a year, and I think they were gonna try to do it just twice a year now. But that hasn't met yet.
But also is in the school update, anything going on at the school that you all wanna share with us? Is that part of the school?
Yeah.
update?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, usually. Anything going on that we should know about or?
No, I don't have anything.
And, can you tell people what the Real Coalition is? Because there's some people who are relatively new.
Race, equity, access, and leadership. So what Dr. Buchanan is trying to do is get parents, community leaders, students, faculty involved. We would meet 3 or 4 times a year. Always moderated by Dr. Gary Bailey. There would be a topic and we would talk about issues that are happening in school, or we would workshop. We did a workshop last year on restorative circles as sort of an alternative to more traditional forms of punishment, I guess you could say. So we talk about all of these different issues regarding race and equity in the schools and how it's affecting our students and curriculum. And it all sort of channels back to the portrait of Needham graduate and the school's strategic plan. I will say I was at the school committee meeting on Wednesday, and Needham has the highest MCAS scores in the state. We were like ranked #1. What was interesting as part of that discussion, though, is the presentation that Dr. Carmen Williams gave was around the work that they're really doing to try to sort of, as Dr. G said, raise all boats. So they're doing a lot of work, even though if you still look at the statistics, a lot of our marginalized communities are still not faring as well as the communities that you know are doing much better. But there's a lot of effort that is going into special ed programs, the student populations of color, lower income, students that come from lower income backgrounds. And they're seeing actually within Needham sort of tremendous strides because of the targeted work that's happening there with regards to the MCAS scores. So it's great. I mean, obviously there's still a lot of work to do, and it's a wonderful group of female leaders that are sort of heading the charge in the schools for this.
How about the role of the Human Rights Committee within their goals? It used to be that there was a particular one about community engagement. I don't know whether we still have.
Yeah, so
connection.
we are going to, I have to touch base with Katie King on that, just with the special town meeting and everything that just happened. We're gonna start those, we need to have another community conversation at some point. It's just a matter of picking that back up.
Is she still able to work on it?
It'll be her deputy, right?
Well, it will be sort of from a more of an umbrella
But that's not real coalition.
No,
No, no.
that's continuing the community conversations. that
Yeah,
we
oh,
raised.
right, but is there a particular role within the real coalition that,
That's
the
what
Human
she's
Rights
talking
Committee?
Not really. I mean, they're, as I said, they're kind of taking a step back to try to figure
Okay,
out what the.
so
what the
I thought it was in
coalition
the
can do.
town goals, not in the. Not
No,
in the real.
I think it's
code.
right there.
I'm
There was
asking a
there was
separate
committee
question,
on
but then we
community
come
engagement.
back to the community conversations on race was that there were two things that came out of the Chinese Friends of Needham, bringing the concern of the parents about bias against Asian students and how the bullying was handled. One was to work on the particular communications and protocol
Yeah.
within the school system. The other was to move into the community because it's not just a problem of the children, it's a problem in the community. So, several of us, Amelia and I were the ones who worked with Katie and then formed a group of people representing different parts of the community. And we had one program in June. That was, and then another one this last year, and now with the change in the assistant deputy town managers, it's now the town manager. We need some other leadership there, which will probably happen, and Tina volunteered to help bring the human rights voice into that process.
Yeah, so
So I'm
we'll.
still part of it, and Carrie, I think, joined.
Yeah, so we'll, now that the special town meeting's over, I think that we can move forward with that.
Great, thank you.
Tina, are any of the existing committees on the Real Coalition potential places for discussion about the complaint process? Like, I wonder if that's something that there might already be some people who would be interested in talking.
I don't know about committees, but maybe some specific individuals, yeah.
That could help.
And I've actually been meaning to, who might actually be a good resource there is Dr. Willoughby. We've been trying to just get together, catch up, so that is something I could ask her about. Okay, anything else about schools? No. Town update? Okay, so subcommittee selection and interests. That is, Parties has won the website or digital accessibility. I think what we just talked about, if we decide to move forward with the assessment. I don't know if this could happen this year, but so when I was at Needham Thrives and I had my human library poster, oh, everybody wants to come to the human library. It's like, it's not really happening right now. It's just an odd stuff.
For people who don't know,
But-
one of our people on the committee was working on this and had to step back because of his own commitments with schools.
The assistant director of the Needham Public Library, she used to be at Cambridge. Not only does she like the idea, but she was involved with the Cambridge Human Library years ago. So they are doing, she's going to be in this training. They're doing a kickoff training, a Zoom training in early November, which I'm going to sit in on just to have an understanding of what this involves. She said it takes a lot of work, but if we can partner with them, because she's very interested in doing this at the library,
Yes.
then that could.
I think Greg had already reached out to her.
be a
Did she
huge
say that?
resource. She didn't mention it to me when we talked.
Yeah,
We talked at
Greg
length
had
about it.
talked to a bunch of different people. Yeah.
She did say, for the
But maybe
Cambridge
she
Human
can-
Library, the most popular book that was rented out was the Cambridge Chief of Police.
Oh, interesting.
And he was he or she was willing to do that.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and they had a really big turnout, she said. And she said it was very successful, so she was very excited when she came by my poorly executed. It was great. Shriveful. So I will follow up with her, just to see what that involves. As I said, she did mention it's a lot of work, but if we can partner with the library and she sent me the training information, she's gonna be on that training, that Zoom training. That could be sort of
Right,
like
but
take care of some of that lift.
But we need somebody here who's gonna hold that.
I will do that since I had the conversation with her.
Okay.
But either of our young people, do? It just sounds so exciting.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the Zoom link.
Maybe just take a look and not have to commit.
But yeah, she was very, very excited about it. And as I said, if the library is willing to partner with us and help us sort of be a resource.
Greg started a lot of stuff. He started the application, so he'd made progress, so. If you're
Touch
gonna
base with him.
be the point person, touch base with Greg and see where he is with it. you know.
Okay.
So let me just publicly thank you for representing us at Needham Press. I haven't even talked to you about how it went, but,
It was kind of a decent turnout. I mean, it was a really beautiful day. And there were a lot of people that came because it was right next to the playground in Greens Field, so.
they were happy with, NRN seemed to be really happy.
There were
with it.
people that just sort of stumbled upon it.
Was their big thing.
Well, I know it's their big thing, but I mean, all the stuff I've gotten
But
about.
having the performances there, that drew a lot of families, that was
Yeah,
exciting.
so, thank you.
Yeah, of course. There, and it was very multifaceted. I mean, I was next to the YMCA and then sort of, there was a veterans group, you know,
League of Women Voters.
League of Women Voters was
Yeah.
out, they were
Well, yeah,
took out,
it's all
it was a
the-
big,
It's all the people who are part of this cohort,
yeah,
the NRN. And cohort 1 and cohort 2 are good, get together. Are you?
I saw that. I don't think I can make it, but
Okay,
I'm gonna
yeah.
try.
Yeah.
So it was, I think Nicole and Beth felt really good about sort of the initial
Yeah.
turnout and the feedback, and hopefully they'll be able to build on that for the next, I don't know if it's gonna be an annual thing.
But
It was
I don't know if you've been seeing they've been interviewing people. So,
It's fascinating.
people who were part of this cohort about mental health. And, forget the guy from police who's worked on it. Yeah, and he was interviewed and, a bunch of different people, so obviously I wasn't. Anyway,
You've already been way up there.
no way. No, because
The recording's still going, sorry.
Because what I was, we were supposed to be was launching this human library. So anyway, okay.
And we had
thank
people
you.
at, the next week, the Harvest Festival. For the Voices in Unity table.
Oh, great.
Did we?
I don't know. Was it there?
I had trouble.
You
I
weren't
wasn't-
there? Can't
I was
believe you
there
weren't there.
last for the half hour, but I have, Sundays don't work.
You're in everything.
Yeah.
So the subcommittees we have,
Oh,
we
yeah,
just.
human
just-
library.
Yeah, Human Library Subcommittee, the
Assessment,
assessment,
accessibility.
digital accessibility.
Okay,
Is there anything else anybody wanted to add to that?
the question is, maybe not multicultural festival this year, but next year. Yeah. we should have that.
We're gonna do that.
Well, no, I mean, it should be listed as something that we are either, are we gonna do it a year from now? It can be every year.
them again.
What?
Say them again.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Digital accessibility,
Right.
human library, needs assessment, multicultural festival.
So maybe that is early on at the next meeting. For people to sign up for that and to see if there's any others.
And add the multicultural festival, we have to decide if anyone has the bandwidth to do it.
Whether it's something we do every other year. It's just another discussion that we have.
Or maybe it has a broader name than multicultural festival, that's cultural appreciation events or dialogues or something that makes it broader. And
Well, that's a different focus then, from a festival.
okay,
So can we also add then the committee to address the policies or the bias complaints
Yeah.
through the schools and yes.
Okay, that's it now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Meeting
Pending that,
and
pending that.
November 20th. The next one.
Next meeting is.
oh, that's on the agenda, we need to look at the next.
Oh, yeah,
Here's the, I printed it out.
We already had all the dates, right?
We wanted to change from third Thursday to a different Thursday.
It's,
Sorry, it's a bit small, but I shared up here. As of now, the meeting schedule, so yes, the next meeting is scheduled for November 20th. However,
I think a change should not be made without a number of months ahead and without a thorough, not just ask who's there at one meeting, that's fine, off we go.
because we all have to kind of look at our schedules of all
And-
these other meetings we have during
Book
various
ahead.
months.
I
Is that,
think,
is that what Keith is asking for?
He just wants a different Thursday. Okay.
It just has this type
Right,
of.
he can't do the third Thursday.
as he'd like to be at any rate, I said to him last spring, if you wanna change it, do it in the spring, do the survey, and it just never happened. Because people plan their things for a year.
For a year, yeah.
And when people were signing up for the committee, they're asked
If you can
Come
do the
on the
third
third
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, I'm gonna make him send out that survey then, and we'll revisit it for 26.
Yeah, so we stay with these, are there any that collide with like school vacation?
I think that was already taken into account.
April 16th was the only one I was wondering if that was the April vacation, or the February 19th was that the February school vacation.
Is it personal, one person sent me, because I think I don't
Yeah,
have
the right
those
person.
anymore.
It's on the, where, this is on the town website.
Oh, okay.
They're listed on the. Under us.
Oh,
And you can find the town.
February 19th probably is February.
I'm gonna look up.
February 19th is private.
Yes.
Okay, while you guys are looking it up, we need to vote.
And I have just only hearings out.
And then we have to get back.
Don't move yet, we've got 5 minutes.
Are you guys ready to vote? Do you feel? Do we feel comfortable voting? Okay, so
Do we have a motion on the floor?
to release a new statement.
No, to.
We're not releasing the statement, it was the motion.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. I made the motion
Oh, okay.
Okay, you made the motion.
to not release a new statement at this time.
Anybody second it? I'll second it. So now more discussion. Okay, then. Take a look.
Okay, so so this is a vote not to release a new statement.
Right now,
Right, at this time.
We're voting on it.
this time.
Yeah, but it would mean if we had a new one, that there would be seasoning of it and.
Yeah, so
not
we would
like
need to put
today.
right, we need to write it.
But we're not to do it today, now.
No, we don't have to write, if we decide to write a new statement, it doesn't have to be.
First, so if you decide not to write a new, well, why not?
Okay,
Well, it could be to write a statement. and
Okay,
If you're,
fine. Okay,
then you're
fine.
opposed to it,
Okay.
you vote against
okay,
it. It seems weird to.
okay,
To have a negative. vote.
okay.
Okay, I withdraw my second. Okay, restate it.
A motion to write a new statement, not revise the 2023, but write a new statement.
Okay,
So
I will
I'm-
second that.
Okay, so we're gonna go around and if you,
Yes,
yes, write a new
I
statement.
think there should be a discussion.
Okay.
I feel that the statement we wrote is sufficient and appropriate. And addresses the things that need to be addressed. I feel very strongly about that.
Which statement are you?
The one we,
In November
the one we did.
23.
November
years ago.
2023.
Feel very strong.
So I have the same, this is my turn.
Yeah, okay.
So
Pardon?
because I may want to go earlier, so yeah, I have the same idea. So I think November 2023 is sufficient, and I think it's better not to do any mistake.
So you said no.
Yes.
No, but that was part of the discussion.
Discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, that was discussion,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything else to add to the discussion before we vote? Whether or not to write a new statement?
A lot of us spoke before, and I would say, I think that some kind of short statement, at least at this time, would be important.
I'm conflicted.
I am too.
I'm really conflicted.
But we would have the right, of course, to say, we haven't come, you know, if we come up with a statement, then we have to see, is that something we want to say? And if we can't find one, then obviously we won't.
Well, no, we have to develop one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say that we work on, that we come up with one that was proposed to be. proposed.
I thought we were trying to figure out.
The motion is, are we gonna do a new statement or no? Or
Right,
not?
and then we figure out what the statement is
Right,
after,
right.
are we gonna do it or not?
The only other thing that I want to add to the conversation is that while I think that I liked our statement in November of 2023, that many things have happened since 2023 that warrant identifying those and calling out those new human rights violations. Yeah, that. I don't think we should backtrack on the statements and the values and the ideas that we had from the November 2023 statement, but that it would be worth coming up with a new statement to address what we see today.
Anyone else? Are we ready to vote on this? Do you guys want more time to think about it?
I mean,
The only,
it's a lot.
I'd like to hear more discussion, I
I'd like
guess.
to, have the reason I think we should have some more discussion, because I feel very strongly, but I know other people feel strongly other ways. But we also have two very important members of our committee that are not here tonight.
That's true.
And I really think it would behoove us to have their input also.
I wonder if then maybe we could schedule like a special meeting in like 2 weeks and just do it by Zoom or something, just so that we don't
Yeah.
kick this out another month, 'cause it's gonna.
Right, and as it seems like it takes, it's a long it's not just a short conversation.
So have like an emergency. meeting in
Emergency
2 weeks,
Specifically about this.
just
And
about
then
this.
everybody has time to,
And also review the previous statement that was made and see if it
Right, and I
covers some
have
of the
that.
things.
We still
that-
have
I read it out, that was the one.
No, I know you did.
Yeah, but
That's
people
why-
might wanna study it
I think it
a little
covers-
bit.
That's why.
Yeah,
Even
well,
even the atrocities that have taken place, I think it covers. The human rights of people in Gaza as well as Israel.
I wanna read it again myself, because I wasn't here in 23 either.
Okay, then we should have voted on it. if you
So,
want
yeah,
me to
so
vote
then
on
we
it.
should table this.
Right.
But do we want to have a special meeting as been suggested?
I think that's not a bad idea if we can get a quorum. I think you're right, we shouldn't wait any longer. I
Well,
like that idea.
Yeah, I don't think we should wait till the next meeting.
Could we just do that by Zoom?
you
It has
can't do
to
it by
be,
Zoom, it has to be in person.
But people can be on Zoom. There has to,
is there a number of people that have to be in person?
No, as long as the chairs recognize that committee members can participate via Zoom and they have recognized that, then we have to hold the space in person.
Okay, so
So somebody needs to be here in person.
Someone needs to.
like, the chair wouldn't have to be here, the chair wouldn't have to be here.
It's always preferable for in person.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
And that is mandated that we have to have
Well,
hybrid option. We cannot go fully Zoom.
should we look?
Yeah,
We all
for
look at our
date.
calendars right now and see if there's.
For a date.
Yeah. Like,
And not to change the topic, but I just want to give these to everybody before I leave.
oh,
If I forgot somebody, tell me.
Oh, how nice.
Oh, my goodness, you are amazing.
Well, no, I can't take credit. My husband.
You've got a spouse that's
I'm
a-
here.
You've got to take credit, then you can pass
Yeah,
it
you
on.
can have
Yeah.
credit, don't give Steve the
I
credit.
won't give Steve credit, doesn't, that's with it. So,
But
yeah,
getting
so-
your husband or spouse to do something,
yeah,
good job.
Yes.
He helps her a lot.
He does help me a lot.
So if we're
I
saying
just hope I have everybody in here.
the first week in November, are we looking at? What's,
That's one of those stitches.
oh, do your calendar?
I didn't bring it.
4, 5, or 6.
Oh, that's
And you
better.
can be on Zoom because I'm just gonna be out of
Yeah, I can.
state visiting my mother.
How about we say 5?
November 5th?
It's a
I mean,
Wednesday.
5.
That's a Wednesday, is that
Oh,
good?
I thought you meant in
Sorry,
terms of the
I'm not being
time.
clear.
No,
November
November fourth,
4th,
is a Tuesday,
Tuesday,
fifth is a Wednesday, sixth is a Thursday.
Okay, if you're gonna do Thursday, I thought if we could have the option of like 5 PM or 6 PM rather than the evening, because I know I don't have.
Okay, so I can't do 5 PM on the fourth.
On the 4th and 6th.
We're
6,
six.
November 6th at
Oh,
5
November
PM.
sixth, okay,
Because we're doing Thursday.
November 6th at 5.
November sixth.
I can't do it at 5.
What do you
Yeah, and
think?
Carrie probably can't either.
Oh, okay.
I'm working until 5 and we have 6.
Yeah.
That,
6
forget
o'clock.
that.
What about 6:30?
I could try super hard to get it.
What about 6?
What's wrong with 7?
But you can do Zoom.
You can't do 7?
I don't know what I have.
Racial
written on
justice
my-
initiative.
Because I did think I
Why
did.
don't we put out, let's do a doodle.
Yeah, let's do a doodle. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
Doodle poll.
doodle.
Yeah.
All right, we'll doodle it.
Okay.
I'll send you guys a bunch of time. So it's gonna have to be after 6 because of working.
Yes.
Okay.
Tina, can I request that
Thank you.
motion and vote?
We're still chatting.
Yes.
That's something
I
that,
left home
and
at
that we
like 7
schedule a-
a.m. Like,
Oh,
thank you so much.
I love your input.
Taylor needs a motion to postpone the table discussion.
next to Tina.
So moved.
yeah, I think so.
And then, can I get a second on that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of postponing this discussion and moving it to a future meeting? Say aye.
You're like an emergency meeting.
Yes, aye.
Aye.
Yeah,
Okay.
and about the dates, it turns out that February 19th is during school vacation,
Oh, yeah,
but
I-
April 16th is not.
Okay, so I will send out another email. We'll either do it the 12th or the.
So where are these to the diversity summit?
We're not having it this year.
Oh, we're not?
Thank you. I announced that last. We're not having it, at least not in November.
Oh, I have a date in my calendar for it.
Well, I don't know about that. They decided it wasn't working. And they needed to.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we have a mutual friend. I
How
hope
did
that
that
is
go?
how I help back.
Hey,
I have down November 16th.
Number about keeping that meeting. I don't know if it's. on.
all in favor? Aye.
Oh, I'm Alexis Dominguez, Alexis and Carla.
Oh,
Dominguez.
okay. I don't think I have. She's new. I didn't make.